plastic watering can for a fake Chinese rubber plant and a fake plastic girl. That she bought from a rubber man in a town full of rubber plants to get rid of itself. Words around, words around, words around. Words around. She lives with a broken mind, a crackpot of styrene man who just crumbles and burns. Used to do surgery for girls in the 80s, but gravity always wins. And it was about the words around, the words around, she looks like a real thing. Tastes like real thing. My wake life still alive. But I can't help the feeling I could blow through the sea. If I just stay around, and it wears me out. It wears me out. It wears me out. It wears me out. And if I could be who you wanted, if I could be who you wanted all the time, all the time. when you were before. Couldn't look you in the eye. You're just like an angel. Your skin makes me cry. You float like a feather in a beautiful world. I wish I was special. You're so fucking special. But I'm a creep. I'm a widow. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. I don't care for you. I wanna have control. I want a perfect body. I want a perfect soul. I want you to notice when I'm not around. You're so fucking special. I wish I was special. But I'm a creep. I'm a widow. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. Oh, see. Whatever makes you happy, whatever you want. You're so fucking special. I wish I was special, but I'm a creep. I'm a widow. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. I don't belong here.
Hi, good afternoon. How the devil are you? It's Friday. It's Friday. What an exciting week. I want to talk about fear and disgust and intuition and gaslighting and all of those things and boundaries because I don't know if you follow me on Twitter, but sometimes I write something, I might read something and then I write something and then all these people that want to be bad faith kind of actors. People that pretend they don't really know what I'm talking about. Oh yeah, well you must disagree with mixed race marriage then, because some people find that disgusting. Just nasty people, nasty people. This is actually a little bit more pink than it looks on here, but it has got the lovely. I'm just going to show you, because if you want me to continue doing Let Women Speak events, you're going to have to. Oh, you're going to have to buy some merch, because otherwise we can't do it. I don't just ask you for, to make me feel good. Donate money. I'd say be the billboard, be part of everything that we do, be the reason that that things are changing in this country. You may not be told that you are the reason, but you are the reason. I don't think it's salmon. It's not salmon. It's a bit more pink. Anyway, right. So let's just talk about Bristol Women's Voice. Magic. So I've looked at both the Charities Commission and made a complaint this morning, and with the Electoral Commission. I don't often have a lot of time to make complaints, but this was quite an easy complaint. So basically, they are a charity, and if you're a charity, right? Oh, hi, band. Thank you so much, always, for being here, and Rebecca. But if you're a charity and you offer a hustings or a charity full stop, you just can't be, you just can't have favourites. And it says that on both the Charity Commission and the Electoral Commission. So two quite important commissions. So that's quite interesting. Like there are some organizations, women's organizations, who claim to be impartial, who started saying, "Oh, you should back this one or another one." I've always said that I don't have any political allegiance, but I certainly wouldn't be asking people to vote for Rosie Duffield, irrespective of whatever you think she might have been through. She is a candidate for a party that's totally going to destroy our rights. I might have to put these terrible reading glasses on so I can tell you a little bit more about just how awful the Labour Party is. Basically, conversion therapy. Oh, but you can still do conversion therapy, but you can't do conversion therapy. They definitely want to make it easier for someone to have their legal sex change. You know, that legal thing, like legal sex change. It's like trans, but it's legal. It's like a completely different spelling of pretty much the same word and meaning. So that's great. But yeah, there's a lot going on. Sticking to Bristol Women's Voice. So she specifically said to me on the phone that it was because of my view. I know who you are. I know your views. And because of that, we're not inviting you. And this wasn't first. That's not the first thing she said. The first thing she said was they're only having the 4 main parties. So even then, you would have to have a good reason. You have to have a very strong reason, as it says in the charities. Charities must not support or oppose a political party or candidate. Now, she said that she didn't agree with my views. She could have said that she's been told by the police that inviting me would cause a massive disturbance. She could have said that. She could have said a number of things, but she didn't say that. She said she didn't agree with my views. So that means the Charity Commission and the Electoral Commission both think she's wrong. In fact, the Electoral Commission have advised me to write to her and point out what their guidance is, and also to contact the police. I have no idea why. I guess it is a criminal offence to interfere with elections. So I'll be contacting the police this afternoon. It's just so much fun. See, this is what happens. This is why becoming a political party was an act of absolute genius. Because they can't, you just are protected very, very differently. Like the events I'm going to do, the police are protecting me as a political candidate. And reform with 609 candidates are struggling to be treated equally. Yeah, I mean, how can you say they're not a main party when they're putting out so many candidates up and down the country? So that doesn't wash, and they're also not invited to the women's voice hustings. It's very interesting, right? Because people can totally destroy your reputation through guilt by association, or the sort of things that never used to fly years and years ago. So people can say you are something, you are something. In fact, a lot of people that say, "Oh, but this Posie Parker, Kellie-Jay Keen is this thing," is a Nazi. They're also the people that spread the rumor that I'm a Nazi, and then they say, "Well, people believe she's a Nazi, but we don't know how anyone believes she's a Nazi, but we also spread the rumor that she's a Nazi." And now we're saying that we've heard the rumor that she's a Nazi, which is the rumor that we started in the first place. It's very, very clever. It's a very, very clever thing to do. And it might be, I mean, we don't know this, but it might be come the end of this campaign that whilst the candidates for Party of Women are doing really well and getting interviewed, I might be I might be kept from doing anything, which I think in itself would be crazy. Can I just tell you the other news? So probably between myself and the 16 candidates, all of us in total 16, about 1 million households in the UK are going to read. Let me just show you what it says on the front of the. I'm going to read this through their door on a leaflet. 1 million households in the UK. Isn't that exciting? I can't wait for all of the people getting really, really upset about it. Anyway, right. Let's talk about fear and disgust, because I think that's super, super important. That people to persuade you to rationalize your disgust feeling. It's a feeling that you should trust. It's like it's a really basic emotion and response. And I would imagine evolutionary wise, it stops us from eating poison, stops us from procreating with our relatives. I would think it also puts a nice distance between your mum and dad and you, so you get to have independence when you get to sort of teenage years. Everything is disgusting. It gets to keep you safe. So when we see creepy men and people acting in a way that oversteps our boundaries, it keeps us safe. So disgust as a standalone thing is a really good thing, and you should trust it. And we met a young woman, and I'm sure you might have watched her on my channel. And she was talking about how she felt really uncomfortable with a troon that she was sharing a room with a man posing as a woman. And it was supposed to be a girl only residence. And this was at uni. And she was really uncomfortable, so disgusted. And he would talk very overtly sexually about his body and talk about her body. And she kept explaining that and rationalizing it and thinking that she was transphobic. And it must be her problem. Like, her discomfort was her problem, not his problem. It wasn't his behavior, it was her. She must be transphobic. So she tried to do this. And this has happened many, many times. If you ask some people that have been victims of sexual assault, maybe euphemistically called date rape, but rape, they will often rationalize why they shouldn't be uncomfortable, why they shouldn't keep their distance. And I put this, and then people are like, oh, that's some people who are homophobes are disgusting. Some people that's clearly not what we're talking about. We're talking about women do it all the time. That's into really dangerous situations. That isn't to say I get fed up of having to do this. I'm constantly talking to children who are going to take a bad faith kind of interpretation of what I'm saying. So I will spell it out just in case. When I'm talking often on Twitter, if not always, I'm talking about the issue I talk about. And I've heard from people trying to have intellectual conversations about raping animals, having sex with animals, or conversations about incest, or conversations about paedophilia. And those people will talk about disgust, and they'll talk about disgust and shame, as if you took those two elements away, it'd be perfectly fine to rape a 5-year-old, or it'd be perfectly fine to have a gay relationship like two brothers. If you just took away the disgust and shame, because that's not really a good argument for not doing anything. And what I say is, yes, it is. It's a perfectly good argument. Now, you may want to consider and question and have a think eventually about your own disgust and work out where that comes from, and if it's a good place or a bad place, or if it's rational or not. But I'm telling you, you follow your first response of disgust, you follow your first response of fear, your instinctive response, because often it's informing you about things that you might not have the time to think about. And it knows things better than you. So I do get a little bit. Someone even said, oh, Jane Claire Jones has written something good like this. And I thought, well, that's an oxymoron of a sentence, isn't it? No one's got time for that. I can barely read 55 tweets, let alone an essay. Um, so I just think it's really important that in order to erase someone's boundaries, we minimize and rationalize their feelings of disgust and fear all the time. And I'm saying I don't think we should. I'm saying that in situations of safeguarding, what we're doing to a whole generation with girls at school is we are persuading them to rationalize their disgust and their shame and their fear of boys in their space or men looking like sex pest freaks walking down the high street. That's what I'm saying. I don't think that's too difficult. Yeah, Gavin De Becker wrote The Gift of Fear, where he talks about that. Where he talks about um, what uh, what predators will do is they will put you in a place where you feel like you have to be polite because it's very uncomfortable to be confrontational and impolite. Not for me. I don't find it uncomfortable at all. But for many, many people, they feel uncomfortable about being impolite. So if somebody said, for example, in America, he's talking about women who lives in apartments. Someone says, "Oh, let me carry your shopping for you." You might go, "Oh, no, no, thanks. No, that's fine. Thanks very much." No, come on. Why? What am I going to do? Let me carry your shopping for you. The next minute, they're into your flat. So this is just what we're talking about when we're talking about fear and disgust and shame and intuition. And I just think I'm not particularly hippie or into crystals or psychics or I'm not into anything like that or spiritual stuff. But I do believe that we carry with us through our genes, we carry a legacy memory of experiences built up by our species, which clearly we do, because that's why we all do that when little babies do that, don't they? They grab. So we carry these sort of legacy memory in our genes about different experiences that people have had throughout history, like women have had. So we know that a deeper male voice is more frightening. We just know how we feel about stuff. And I just don't want anybody telling girls that it's wrong to feel that way. That your feelings are never wrong. You may eventually wanna examine them if they get in the way of you leading a productive life, but your feelings aren't wrong. And I don't want girls to have to rationalize why they feel uncomfortable just in case they think they're transphobic or just in case they think they're being mean and unkind to the man that gives them the creeps, that then is following them home. So yeah, somebody says here, Kat Harvey says, we won't be gaslit. And I do think that's what this is. There's a TRAs, right? TRAs are overt. You know what you're getting. You know you're getting a person that really hates you, probably thinks lots and lots of things about you that you are supposed to believe that you don't, but you know what you're getting. But when women do this, who are on our side, start saying, "Oh, disgust, isn't it? Oh, you can't be disgusted. Oh, that's a terrible thing." They really are threatening your boundaries. They really are erasing your boundaries. It is gaslighting. It's often worse the person that says that they're not compromising whilst they slightly compromise, whilst they say things like legal women. Um, and I have to say, I was I was looking the other day at the news, and there was something about the national police chiefs. And I did that research a few years ago, but I'm not so ambitious, so I don't want a seat at the nice, comfortable table because, frankly, I find them all dull and compromising. But um, another group had done some research and had taken it to the national police chiefs, and then were disappointed nothing happened. And the reason nothing happened is because it was never the police chiefs that were involved. It was the individual police chiefs of every single force, which is what I could have told them. Or if they'd read my research, which seemed to be slightly more thorough, they would have worked that out. So that guidance comes from somewhere else. It doesn't come from the NPCC at all. It comes from the police chiefs on every single force, and that's because this is where this all ties in. This is why I'm always right. What it comes from is a person, because of gender reassignment in the Equality Act, because of the Gender Recognition Act, that person took the police to court on the basis of discrimination on his gender reassignment because he wasn't allowed to search women. So there's so many things that I'm right on about this. Number one, that you can go and talk to this kind of nondescript, powerless body if you want, but they have no power. Number two, it's totally made me even more right about gender reassignment in the Equality Act and more broadly the entire Equality Act. And it's also made me right about the GRA. Like it's a whole whammy of me being right. So I just want everyone to be aware that it's all right to be disgusted. Do you know what? It's even all right to be disgusted and wrong. It's all right to think that something is frightening and you should be afraid of it or it disgusts you. It's even all right to follow that particular emotion, that particular response, that particular instinct. It's even all right to distance yourself from whatever that is and be wrong. It's all right to do that because it's probably better to be disgusted and wrong than not disgusted and wrong. Anyway, look, I'm right to do a political party. I'm right that not to compromise. I'm right not to be wanting to be part of that Hydra compromise clique. I'm right about all of these things because and I think it takes quite a lot of stamina and resilience. And I don't know too many people who have as much as I've got, even if I do say so myself. And that is because I'm right. That's because I don't have to compromise and I don't have to lie. So I can say the things that I think. And sometimes I might, like I said, you might wince, but you can either wince or you can lose. And so if you want somebody to get us to the end of this, where we all want to be, not like halfway, not giving up, not being where we were 2018, I mean right back to 2003. If you want someone to do that, then I'm afraid that person is also going to come with some of the qualities that I have, that I don't mind not being liked, that I am occasionally going to say things that maybe you feel oversteps the mark. But there are so many people that don't even come close to where we are, that don't come close to the mark, that I guess the person that's going to take you over the line is sometimes going to step over the line. That's just what it's going to take. And I don't know anybody else who can do that and keep a public public appearances and stamina and raising the funds, which is not, it's no mean feat. So if you appreciate what I do, and maybe you don't, I do have quite a lot of people who follow me who don't like me very much at all. But if you appreciate what I do, then be the billboard. We are just about to put a definition election special, so you can go to your hustings, and it will be a definition t-shirt, and with it, for the same price as a t-shirt, you will get a nice gold foil presentation box. You will get pens, stickers, and an enamel pin. And that's just so that you can all really go and enjoy your election. Might even chuck in a notebook so you can get that out with definition of the word woman on it. Anyway, there's a limited number. So if you want that notebook, you need to order first, but you need to be on our mailing list if you want to hear anything about that. So it's tiring being right all the time. Anyway, if you can just keep it up, because this is a long haul, right? This is just the start, this party. Very much the start of what we're going to do. The candidates are so amazing. I feel so proud. We have a meeting every day, and I can honestly tell you, I'm so proud. These are women that you know. These are women that live just down the road. These are women that you might have met at one of, Let Women Speak. These are women who've really decided to stick their heads above the parapet. They don't have huge financial backing. We don't have any fairy godmothers with deep pockets. We just don't, propping us up. We don't have thousands in the bank, but we do have a lot of moral courage. And I'm really, really proud to be associated with each and every one of them. Anyway, I've got to go because I've got one of those meetings soon. And oh my gosh, I might need a 20-minute power nap. Power nap. Can't even speak. Okay. Love to all of you. Keep an eye on the election.